And this morning we're celebrating comedy history, man. It's been 25 years since the original Kings of Comedy hit the stage and the big screen, changing the stand-up comedy game forever. Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer, and the late, great Bernie Mac. Cedric the Entertainer, the late, great Bernie Mac came together for one of the most iconic tours and films in stand-up comedy. And behind it all was the one man with the vision to bring it to life. Y'all, please welcome the one and only Walter Latham.
In the
Hey, what up, man?
What's up, man? Y'all be jamming over here in the morning.
Come on, man. You know what we do every morning. Are you in Charlotte or Greensboro?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. See, we don't get you in Nashville, man. I didn't know that. We got
we on in Nashville.
Sure you're in Nashville?
Yeah. Yes.
Man, I'm listening to too much country music.
Man, we are so happy. Congratulations, 25 years, man. Let me just start. How did you come up with the concept 25 years ago?
Man, I tell people this story all the time, and they're like, whatever. I was asleep one night, and I woke up in the middle of the night and was like, Kings of Comedy. But I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what is that? And I went to work, and it took about a month before I kind of figured, okay, Kings of Comedy, who would I put in it? Okay, what size theaters should we go? And I was like, well, no, it shouldn't be in theaters. It's bigger than that. It should be in arenas. So we did 3 shows. I called the guys who I'd already worked with individually, Cedric and DL and Bernie, Steve, and I say, hey, man, I'll put you guys together. We're going to play bigger buildings, and let's see if it works. And we just started off as a weekend. It was just one weekend. And at the end of the weekend, Bernie said to us, he's like, man, if you put the tickets on sale, people will come. And that was it. We went on tour, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's, I'm much more spiritual now as I got older than I was when I was young. But to me, it had to be like a God thing, right? Because it wasn't me. I wasn't that powerful and smart to make something like that happen, especially coming into a dream. It was just like a dream, and I woke up in the dream, and that's where it came from, man. I'm real excited. And it was today, actually 25 years ago today, that the actual film came out. And you could have told me that 25 years ago, I would have never believed it, that people would even still be talking about it, let alone that we actually had the chance to make a film. So a lot of things happened and a lot of things lined up, but, God always works things out the way he wants to work them out. And I'm really happy to be on the receiving end of it.
Wow, that is awesome, Walter. Do you think that there could ever be a new Kings of Comedy for this generation? Or is that magic just one of a kind, you think? Yeah, you do?
I think it may not be called that. Right. I think people will always say, oh, they're not like the other 4. I think it's definitely a generation where Bernie and everything is different now with social media and all this sort of stuff. People are basically proclaiming themselves to be the king of comedy. But as far as going out with your girl and getting dressed up and going out to see a really good comedy show, I don't really think that exists like that anymore. So I think there's definitely room to fill that void again. I'm 55. So there's not a lot of comedy that comes around that I'm really excited about going to see.
Right.
But what we did, in 2000, I guess 25 years ago, was we gave that same audience who's kind of probably like, there's nothing really out here for us. We gave them that. That was for them. So when they went, they dressed up. They running up and down the aisle.
Yes.
Oh man, it's crazy. Throwing their panties on stage. It was and I'm, and I think there's room for that. I just don't know when. I don't know who, but I definitely think there's definitely room for another one at some point.
So that was my question. Who? Who would you put in this?
Oh, who? Oh, now you're going to put me on the spot. Now.
Don't put him on the spot, Alfred.
Okay.
Okay, just pick one person.
Well, Ricky Smiley, number one, will come to mind, and I'm not being funny about that.
I wish.
You did some Kings, but you did some Kings dates with us.
I did, and I wanted to take the time to thank you for the opportunity to be able to perform on a stage that big in an arena with the original Kings. Man, I'm so grateful and honored for the opportunities that you have presented me, man. I really, really appreciate that exposure because it really changed my life and helped my career. Thank you so much for that, Walter, for real.
No, you're welcome, man. Thank you, and I'm so proud of you, man, and all the stuff that you're doing. I mean, I hear your name every other week. Ricky's doing this. He's there. His show's doing great. He's in these markets. Like I keep hearing, And we never really get to hook up like we used to. So I'm glad I got a chance to at least hook up with you directly to say, man, how proud I am and honored I am to have you in my life and have had you in my life. Wait, before Kings, man, you were working together, 30 years ago, so we've been together for a while. Wow. So, man, good luck. Continued success to you, man. And like I said, I really appreciate all of your support.
That go ahead, Gary. You're finna say.
Right, so, Mr. Latham, the chemistry between the Kings was undeniable, which we all know that. But what moments from behind the scenes still stand out to you the most?
That's a good question.
That's an amazing question. Sitting backstage with those guys. Every night Bernie went on, all of us gathered around a monitor so we could see him perform every night, because he never did the same set every night. So
right.
Me, he was like, "Oh, Bernie on. Okay." And so Steve said, "Get DL, go get DL." And then we would all sit on the sofa and we would look at the monitor and like, where did he get this from? I never heard this. He would say stuff like, lizards are scared of frogs. And I'm like, what does that got to do with, what are you talking about? So he'd just be like all over the place with his routine, but that's what made him special. I think in today's culture, he would have a real tough time being Bernie Mac and the one that we kind of look, for to tell the truth. I think the truth would have really hurt him in this society that we're in now. But I think we're missing that. Comedy is comedy. It's not. Right. I'm telling you, this is not the way it is. This is just my truth and what I think is funny. If you don't think it's funny, that's great. But
and people are
cancel
so
people's shows and all that. Yeah, you lose your endorsements over a joke. So things are just so different now than before. But to answer your question, man, just every night getting, all of us actually getting together as a group to watch Bernie every night was something I really remember. It was a lot of fun for us to do.
I remember sitting there in the airport having, we were changing flights. I was on whatever show I was on. I don't know if it was the Kansas City show and Birmingham show, then the Gary, Indiana show. But sitting there having lunch with you and Bernie Mac, man, was unforgettable. And I remember how nice Bernie was to me and the things that he said to me. Then I remember just behind the scenes, since you asked Gary, one night when they did Birmingham, they went to this club called, Walt, you remember the French Quarters?
I remember it.
They had the disco downstairs and the live band upstairs. And I remember Bernie, Steve, Sid, DL was sitting at the front table watching the live band. I was just standing in the back and watching them sit there and smoke cigars. And I just remember standing back there thinking, like, one of these days, man, I want to be just like them, sitting at those chairs, man. Those two moments behind the scenes was crazy for me, but I can go on and on. But just sitting there having lunch, and I don't know if we was at Popeyes or Sharashi's Deli or something. We was somewhere, but we was sitting there having lunch, and I know Bernie Mac was sitting across from me, and you was sitting next to Bernie Mac and his manager. We was sitting at a table, and I joined y'all for lunch, and I was just glad to be sitting there like a 12-year-old kid listening to grown folks' conversation now, Freedom.
Grown folks. I love it, man. I love it. This is great. A lot of memories, and this is just 25 years, man. We got a lot more years to go and a lot more, history to make and a lot more comedy and jokes to be told. So I'm really excited about the future.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, man. So, listen, we're going to be playing clips from the Kings of Comedy. Y'all celebrating 25 years. Charlotte, North Carolina, man, it was so blessed to have that movie shot in Queen City. I remember it, man. I remember watching it, and that was a big deal, and it really changed the comedy game and stuff. And comedy has grown to a level that's just absolutely unbelievable. Walter, man, thank you so much. And we're going to have you back on because we're going to be playing clips all morning. Thank you for your contribution to comedy. Let everybody know how they can follow you and check out the 25th anniversary of the Kings of Comedy on screen.
Well, it's coming out on screen tonight all over the country. But if you want to buy a ticket and make it really easy, you can just go to Walter Latham Producer on Facebook. And we have all the ticket links for all the theaters across the country. So you can just buy your tickets all in one place. Go out, get dressed up, get your hair done, and have a great time in memory of the 25th anniversary.
There it is. Hey, Walter, I'm going to hit you up later on today. Love you, man. Thank you for the opportunity, bro.
You too, Ricky. Love you too, man.